Hey guys, Mark here from ratings.com, and today we're comparing the Bowers & Wilkins PX to one of our most recommended headset, the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 Series 2. They're both wireless noise-canceling over-ears, mostly meant for commute and travel, but they both do well as casual everyday headphones. So which one should you choose? And since they're both fairly pricey, are they the best options for your use case, or are you better off with a cheaper alternative? Well, in this review, we'll compare the design, sound quality, and isolation, as well as the active features and connection options. But as always, let's start with what's in the box. So inside the B&W's box, you have the Bowers & Wilkins PX headphones, a micro USB charging cable, a simple 1.8 TRS audio cable, and a stylish carrying pouch that would have been better if it was a case, but still offers decent protection. Inside the Bose box, you have a sturdy carrying case, same as the original QC35, then the QC35 Series 2 headphones, a micro USB charging cable, and a 1.8 TRS audio cable, but this time, no airline adapter. And that's pretty much it. And let's get the boxes out of the way and compare the design. For build quality, the clear winner here are the Bowers & Wilkins PX. They have a sturdy and premium design that feels a little bit more durable than the Bose. The headband is a thick, well-padded metal frame, and the ear cups are dense and made of a good combination of plastic and metal. The pads are even magnetically attached to the cups, so you can easily remove them and swap them out for a new pair. They also give you that satisfying click when you put them back, which is always nice. The Bose, on the other hand, are decently well built and fairly durable, but their mostly plastic build quality does not reflect their price range, especially since they're not that much cheaper than the B&Ws. On the upside, they're way lighter, which also factors into the next category, comfort. Here, Bose far outclasses the B&Ws. They are one of, if not the most comfortable wireless over-ears that we've tested. They're lightweight and well-padded with a soft fabric that feels great on the skin and doesn't cause any soreness or fatigue, even after hours of listening. They may make your ears a little warm after a while, but you won't get that tight, clamping sensation that you will with the PX. The B&Ws in this category are uncomfortably tight on the head at first. The decent pads do help mitigate the clamping issue, but for some listeners trying them on for the first time, this might be a deal breaker. They are even tighter on the head than the B&W's P7, which also had a clamping issue, so not really sure what they were going for there. Lastly, for their control scheme, and here it's pretty much a tie. Both headphones are fairly straightforward and easy to use. They both have a 3-button setup for volume controls, call music, and track skipping. The Bose buttons have slightly better feedback, and the Series 2 version of the QC35 adds new controls. You now have a dedicated button on the left ear cup that triggers the built-in Google Assistant once set up with your phone. It also cycles between high, low, and no noise canceling, which is a good addition that felt missing on the original QC35s. The B&W have a similar layout for the most part, so the up and down buttons control volume, and the middle raised button for play, pause, and track skipping. The power switch also puts them in pairing mode if you press and hold. They also have a dedicated noise canceling button that enables and disables the feature. However, it doesn't cycle through noise-canceling modes like the Bose, so you have to use the app for that, but it's a minor inconvenience at most and won't be an issue for day-to-day use. So overall, design-wise, the B&W PX are much better built than the Bose and actually feel like premium headphones. However, they're nowhere near as comfortable. In this case, if you value comfort over build quality, then the QC35 will be the better option. But if a premium design is what you're looking for, then get the PX. And that's it for the design section. So now let's compare the sound quality and isolation with sound.
If sound quality is your priority, then the choice is easy. The Bose Quiet Comfort 35 2 is the better sounding of the two. But before looking at their measurement results, we're going to play a recording we've done with these two headphones so you can get an idea about how their sound profile compares for yourself. Just keep in mind that this is a relative comparison and not an absolute one. So it is good for seeing which headphone has more bass or treble, for example, but you won't be able to judge their actual sound profile. And if you get one of these headphones and listen to the same track that we've used here, you most likely won't hear the same thing. Here we have the frequency response of the B&W PX on the left and the Bose QC35 2 on the right. Both of these headphones have an extended and deep bass, but the tilt in the B&W's bass response favors high bass and the tilt in the Bose favors low bass. This means that the bass of the Bose is going to be quite thumpy without sounding muddy. but the bass of the B&W will sound noticeably boomy and muddy in comparison. In the mid-range, there is something similar happening. Both the B&W and the Bose have an even mid-range response, but the bump in PX's low-mid, which is actually the continuation of the high bass bump, is going to add significant thickness to the vocals and clutter and muddiness to the overall mix. In comparison, the Bose have a more clear and balanced mid-range. The treble of the B&W is a bit uneven and lacks some detail and brightness. But again, the Bose is the more balanced and neutral one here. However, some people tend to find the treble of the Bose a little harsh sounding. If you're one of those and have access to an EQ, then a couple of dB of cut around 6 kHz should take care of most of that for you. Another area in which the B&W falls short is the frequency response consistency. Not only switching the noise cancelling mode from office, measured here, to city or flight negatively affects their frequency response, but we also notice that their bass delivery is very sensitive to positioning and seal. Here we have the frequency response consistency plot of the PX on the left and the QC35-2 on the right. As you can see in the bass range, which we measure on 5 human subjects, the B&W is a lot less consistent. And the red line here with more than 9 dB of drop in bass at 60 Hz is the bass of the PX on our human subject who wears glasses. Now, for isolation and leakage, we have also recorded a comparison, which we're going to play now. First up is isolation. As you probably noticed from the recording, both of these headphones have an exceptional active noise cancelling system. In fact, these are some of the best isolating headphones we have measured so far. The only noticeable difference between these two could be the area around 200 Hz, where the Bose does slightly better. The other thing to consider is that the inconsistent seal of the B&W could be a factor here too. And if you are one of the users who can't achieve an airtight seal with the PX, you may not experience the great isolation that they can provide in the bass range. Now, let's listen to the leakage recording. In terms of leakage, it is the B&W that performs significantly better. And as you can see here, they don't really leak in the mid-range. However, the Bose leaks both in the mid and treble ranges, which could be disturbing to people around you if you're in a relatively quiet environment and listening at a loud volume. Now let's go back to Mark for the active features.
Latency-wise, the B&W perform a bit better than the Bose, but not by much. They have about 199 milliseconds of latency compared to the Bose at around 220 milliseconds. They both won't be suitable for watching a lot of video content or gaming. However, they're fairly average compared to most Bluetooth headsets, which would be fine for most listeners. As for the wireless range, it's a mixed performance. The Bose do better than the B&W when obstructed at 41 feet compared to 32, but the B&W reached much farther in direct line of sight. In this case, the Bose are slightly better since the obstructed range is a more realistic indoor scenario, but they should both be fine for most use cases, especially if you keep your phone or Bluetooth source in your pocket. For the battery life, here the Bose are slightly better overall since they charge faster and have passive playback, so you can still use them when the battery dies. They have about 20 hours of continuous playtime compared to 25 from the B&Ws. However, they charge fully in about 2.2 hours on average, whereas the B&Ws took about 4 hours for a full charge. Both headphones should have more than enough juice for a full day, even if you're a heavy user, but the lack of passive playback on the B&Ws does make them a bit limited when you're not close to a power source. Say if you're on the road or on a long flight and forgot your USB-C cable. On the upside, you can charge the B&Ws while listening to them, which makes them a decent option for the office. As for the app support, the Bose Connect app with the most recent update is a little bit better than the B&W's headphones app. With the Bose, you get an adjustable noise cancelling option, auto off timer settings, and an in-app player. The app also feels a bit better designed. As for the B&W, you get a very bare bones list of features. You can switch between noise cancelling modes, and you can enable or disable the smart pause function that pauses the music when you remove the headphones, but that's about it really. The lack of an equalizer makes both headphones feel a little bland when compared to some of the other wireless headsets like the Sennheiser PXC550 or the Sony WH-1000XM2. However, since the Bose sound pretty balanced, the absence of an EQ isn't as noticeable as on the B&Ws. Lastly, for the connection options, both are Bluetooth headphones that can pair simultaneously with 2 devices. However, the B&W do not have NFC support. On the upside, they do have aptX HD and come with a USB-C cable that you can use for audio with your PC. They also both come with a standard 1A TRS audio cable. So in the end, which one will be the best for you? Well, we would recommend the Bose Quiet Comfort 35-2 over the B&W PX since they have a more balanced sound quality, a more comfortable design for the same level, if not better, isolation. However, the build quality, though durable, still feels a little bit cheap for their price range. In this case, if you want the more premium-looking headset, then go for the B&Ws instead. They're a great option for travel thanks to their strong noise isolation. They're also a decent option for the office since they don't leak as much, and they have a USB-C connection, which gives them a few more features compared to the Bose. Unfortunately, the tight fit won't be ideal for everyone and may be a deciding factor once you try them on. Do you have the PX? What did you think of their tight fit? Also, if you tried both, let us know in the comment section below which you prefer. And that's pretty much it. You can check out all our measurements on our website. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel or become a contributor. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.